Alright guys, I guess this will finally be the fight of that really pushes Gohan. Gohan versus Janemba. Hope you guys enjoy, and this is also the last video of this recording session. I'm happy. Okay, it starts out with, well, where we left directly off. Both Gohan and Janemba is looking at each other. Now, who actually starts it is actually Janemba. He charges forth at full power. Gohan responds accordingly. Now, here's the thing. Gohan is actually worried about this because if Janemba gets any more powerful, he might actually, or if there's another transformation, then Gohan is completely in trouble. Now the fight, pretty much, this fight here is actually so intense that it actually shakes the entire underworld, and the vibration actually transfers into the world of the living and the world of the Kais. Now luckily this does not wake up a certain you-know-who, but as the fight goes back and forth, Gohan is really putting his all into it. Now Gohan actually gets blindsided by an attack and goes flying off into the ground. Now while he's in the ground, he uses instant movement to transfer himself away from Janemba and actually hides his power signature. Now while he's doing this, he contacts Kibito. Yes, I actually looked up the name finally, and tells him that he needs him to go to Earth. There's a man named Master Roshi there, and he needs him to pick up a vase and a piece of paper from him. Now, if you're wondering the time between now and the end of the Buu saga for me, Gohan has been training on Earth, trying to learn Earth techniques, especially after Hirugan was such a threat that he thought, well, maybe I should look into, able to suppress powerful beings without having to resort to actual fighting, just in case, I don't know, it could actually destroy the Earth. Me find this guy, while I might still win, everybody else still loses. You see? Kibito answers back and says that he's on it. Keep him busy. Gohan says, well, I guess it's time for me to actually take this seriously. And he powers up. He powers up so much, matter of fact, that just by him powering up, it's shaking the entire underworld. From this, Janemba is able to easily sense him, and he goes back on the attack. Gohan responds, and they go back and forth for a little bit. And at the end of that, now eventually Kibito actually shows up with what Gohan was wanting. Gohan sees him off in the distance, or no, better yet, Kibito just contacts him telepathy, and Gohan distracts Janemba with a solar flare and creates a copy of himself. Just, giving off a little bit of power to that copy, not the full thing, since he's, spent so much time training with techniques he already knew and learning new ones, along with training just to be powerful. He's able to send it over to him and get stuff from Kibito. Now, at this point, Gohan is actually feeling a little bit worn out, but for some reason Janemba's not. Gohan actually asks him this, how is it that you are not tired? Janemba looks up at him and actually laughs. Don't you remember? I am technically dead. While I may no longer have a halo over my head thanks to Bobbity and Bibbity's magic, making me a live body, but for all intents and purposes, I am dead. So I do not have to worry about things like getting tired. Gohan says, "Oh, really? Tell me something. Are you also immune to being sealed away?" This actually catches him off guard because standing on the ground underneath them is the copy of Gohan with the face and the piece of paper, and he's going to use the Mafumba. Janemba quickly turns around and blasts a key blast at him, but But here's the thing: this was just a distraction. What was actually going on was that this Gohan created another copy to give the vase to the real one, since this clone didn't have enough power to actually seal away Janemba. And from that, Gohan catches Janemba off guard, uses the Mafumba, seals him away, quickly slapped the tag on top of it. Kibito Kai actually goes up to Gohan and says, "That was incredible, that fight of yours. You must have been pushed to your limit." Gohan looks at him, said, "Well, I wasn't actually at my limit, but I was worried about if he was holding back most of his power in this new form, or if he was able to transform again." This actually throws Kibito, it throws him off guard, or it throws him off and says, "Well, how much power were you actually using in that fight?" Gohan actually looks back at him. If I would guess, I would say 80%. In truth, Janemba was actually powerful. In truth, I could have probably done it with 70%, but to make sure that I didn't actually get as damaged as what I would have if I used 70% equaling his strength, I decided just use 80. But as the fight went on, it looks like I was on the losing side of a battle. He then looks at Kibito and actually hands him the vase and tells him that maybe we should actually keep this on the world of the Kais, just in case somebody decides to break this thing in the underworld or find it on some off planet somewhere. After all, if anything is to be shown by previous events in history, that is very likely. Kibito nods, takes the vase, goes back to the world of the Kais to hide it. Gohan then flies down to where his dad and Vegeta, or he flies off and finds his dad and Vegeta finally healed up and well rested. Because while it's true that they are also dead, they still use most of their energy. And they're a different type of dead. They actually have their bodies, unlike Janemba. Janemba mostly was kept out of body form because it was so dangerous. Or not Janemba, but Hirugan, Majin Buu, they were kept out. Their bodies were gone, so they wouldn't, pose a threat. Gohan actually flies down and says, "Are you alright?" Goku looks up at his son and actually smiles and said, "I should be asking you that with the amount of power that you were putting off. Heck, even when me and Vegeta fused together, we weren't able to put off even really an ounce of that amount of power." Gohan just scratches his head and says, "Yeah, I've actually had this power for a while." This actually catches Goku off. Goku asks, "Oh, wow, how long have you actually had it? Had this much power?" Gohan looks at him and says, "I would say probably, a couple months before when I came back to Earth, when you first contacted me." This actually both, zerates Goku and kind of makes him depressed as well for some reason. Because here's the thing, Goku has spent this entire time doing nothing but training. But yet, here is Gohan, his own son that became as powerful as he is now. Goku looks up at him and says, Wow. I wonder how powerful you are if you turn Super Saiyan. Gohan looks back at his father and says, I'm actually not able to turn Super Saiyan anymore. This actually catches both Goku and Vegeta off guard, and they both ask, what? How is that possible? You're definitely powerful enough to go into the transformation. Gohan said, yeah, and I was also able to master Super Saiyan 2 and even that long hair form that you're calling Super Saiyan 3, which really never felt like a true transformation to me. This actually also really catches them off guard because they just thought, Gohan just trained and got strong in his base form at this point. They didn't know that he not only mastered Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan, yeah, they didn't master Super Saiyan 2 and even was able to go into 3, not knowing and Gohan not telling them that there's actually a fourth form because he doesn't really, well, there's no way Goku or Vegeta can actually enter that form. Gohan says, well, I guess I better go off and tell Emma and the archives what was going on. And after that, I gotta go back to Earth and make sure that all the dead that that demon brought back is actually back dead. Before he goes off, Vegeta holds up his hand. Wait, Gohan, I need you to tell me something. Or I need you to tell my family something for me. Tell them that I am sorry about everything I did. It just as Bobbity got so much into my mind and was actually controlling me pretty much, bring out my own killer instinct. I really wasn't in control of myself. Please tell them that I am sorry. I know that they probably won't forgive me. Gohan looks at him and says, oh, is that all? Actually, Bulma and Trunks pretty much figured that that was the case considering the big M on your forehead. Besides, they actually did try and bring you back to life after the event was over with. But it turns out that somebody used the Dragon Balls like a month before the tournament. A.K.A. Pilaf, Mai, and the dog dude. I can't remember his name. Shu? Yeah, Shu. Anyway, at this point, Gohan, leaves, and everything continues on as normal. Now, I have to say this much before I end. The next event will actually be Dragon Ball Super, or the Dragon Ball Battle of Gods, where Bills wakes up. I know that there's a TV special that takes place before then, but there really wouldn't be anything changing except for Vegeta's brother actually deciding to stay on Earth. Also, another thing is that they revive Vegeta when they actually have a chance to. So that's pretty much it. But anyway, guys, I'm tired. It's late. Like, subscribe, hit the bell in the corner, review, do whatever you want. Good night.